Morning, everyone. I'm Daniel Blaylock, President, North American Field Sales, here with Randy McCreary, North American Field Recruiting and Field Sales Specialist. And welcome to edition number 2 of Morning Caffeine with John Pedano. Today's Tuesday, February 9th. We'd like to thank everybody who sent in all your Kirby Life recruits from the last week. Your coffee cups are being mailed to your distributor for presentation. If you haven't already recruited somebody, we're going to do the same thing again this week, right, Randy?
Yeah, we had such a tremendous response with people that sent their names in from the DSs and the FDs that we were excited to send these cups out to you right away. And I have to tell you, it's good to the last drop when it comes from a Kirby cup.
It really does taste a lot better, right?
The whole morning starts better with when you know you've got this cup because you've got a person that you've personally recruited that are out there getting you that $100 bonus or getting you that free sale Kirby bonus cup.
Right. And I was the personal recruit. And
I was
Mariachi was. Many of us at World Headquarters were. In fact, all of us at World Headquarters were personally recruited into the business. Even Joe Franciscone, even guys that aren't in sales, except for Randy, right?
I was the only one that was the traditional recruiter from newspapers, but it shows you what still that advertising does. You can still get sharp people for regular recruiting.
But he can still enjoy a nice warm cup of coffee with his Kirby Life recruiting coffee mug, right? But you did bring your son into the business, correct?
I brought several people in the business. My brother early in my career, and then I brought in some of my personal friends and friends from college. And of course, my son now is a Kirby distributor just about 25 miles south of here.
Yeah, and he's doing very well, right? You got him out on the bonus blast, taking advantage of the RTS program.
We're looking for a big RTS check coming.
Very positive, right? And so, anybody that you recruit into the business now, friends, family, you might as well bring them in now. So when you open up their office, your office, you have the experience through them needed to help you become a successful DT because you'll open with people that know what they're doing, right? Hey, if that's not enough, or the $100 or the free Kirby, do it for the coffee mug this week only, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And probably next week and last week, but let's have one next week. Positive. This time we'll turn it over to the one and only National Sales Manager, Mr. John Pedano.
Take it away, John.
Hey, good morning, Kirby World. Again, just want to remind you, follow those CDC guidelines. Again, wear your mask, wash your hands, and maintain social distance whenever possible. I'm alone, so I'm going to take my mask off. And I'm going to go through a few things for you today. And look at, we want to talk about how to sell this Kirby, right? So I'm going to go through what is called, I call it a 100 times test. There's a baking soda test, and then there's a 100 times test. And let me say this too. If you want to get good at Kirby, you should show up at your morning meeting, have a pen and paper, and have the attitude that today I'm going to learn something today. That's totally in your control. Don't just go through the motions. Get good at this on purpose, and you can get really, really good at Kirby within a short period of time. But anyways, I'm going to go through what I call my 100 times test. There's a whole lot of Kirby's on this. And I'm just going to do it like I'm in a home. And let's face it, there's 2 reasons why people think their vacuums leaving all that dirt behind, right? You're finding all this dirt in their home. The first reason is their vacuum can't pick it up. The second reason is, hey, Mr. Kirby, man, I've got a husband, I've got dogs, I've got kids. I don't have time to vacuum 5 times a day. As a matter of fact, I don't even have a chance to vacuum every day. So of course, you're going to find dirt in my rug. Look you've got to do a good 100 times test and squash all those objections. And I'm just going to go through it now. And I'm just going to use John and Mary. When you bought your machine, it's a beautiful Dyson. You probably bought it for one of 2 reasons. Either you bought this because you believed it was the best vacuum on the market, or at the time you bought it, it was the best one you could afford. Isn't that right? Now, let me ask you a question. When you got this machine, how much dirt did you want it to pick up? 30%, 50%, 80%, or all the dirt? In other words, as much as possible, right? And I'm sure if you found for whatever reason your machine wasn't doing the job you bought it for, you would definitely want to do something about that, wouldn't you? Folks, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a spot on your rug where I haven't had a chance to vacuum with the Kirby yet. And I have to tell you, the truth is I don't get much exercise during the course of the day. This is my only form of daily exercise. So what I'm going to do here today in your home is the Jim Kirby aerobic workout. So what I'm going to do is just take your machine. And again, we've already emptied the container, so the machine's working at full power, and we are ready to go. How do I start it, John and Mary? Is there? No. Just kidding. So here we go. Ah! Ah! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Woo! Okay. Now, folks, hang on a second. Just kidding. But folks, I do like to joke around a lot. I do like to have a lot of fun. But all kidding aside, John and Mary, I just went over this one spot on your rug 100 times with your Dyson. If it did not get all the dirt out of your rug by now, it's pretty safe to say it's never going to, is it? In other words, 100 more times over the same spot with the same machine isn't going to make any difference, is it? Let's bring the Kirby over to the exact same spot. The first thing I want to show you is, of course, there is nothing here, nothing there. Haven't rolled up my sleeves yet while I'm presto. Line this baby up, exact same spot, turn it on, and we are good to go. One, two, three, four. Oh my goodness. Now, John and Mary, the first thing I want you to know is all the fuzzy dirt's going to be gone. That's the surface dirt, the eyesore dirt, the stuff that's on top of the rug. The only thing that's going to be on here after 100 times with your machine is the heavy sand and grit down at the bottom. The reason is pretty simple. The sand is heavier, it settles at the bottom, and it's just harder for other machines to get out. Folks, after 100 times in that one spot with your machine, can you believe this? Oh my Lord. Now, folks, as we just agreed a minute ago, John and Mary, you told me that if you found for some reason your machine wasn't doing the job you bought it for, you definitely want to do something about it, didn't you? Folks, I'm not a magician. I can't wave magic wands that instantly make Kirby's affordable for everybody. But I think I know now that if the Kirby was affordable, this is the type of machine you'd rather be using to keep your home clean, right or wrong, Mary. And of course, John, this is the type of machine you'd rather have protecting your investment. Isn't that right? Fantastic. Folks, are you ready to get one yet, or should I show you a little more? Now, what I want to do now is kind of teach here, right? So what just happened there? Well, if you're paying attention, a Kirby was sold. So let's just back up a second and take a look, because you can't get a wrong answer on any of these questions. And the first question, before you do any comparisons with their machine, there's one thing you got to make sure you do. And that's either empty the container if it has a container, or get a brand new bag if it takes a filter bag. You want their machine working at full power, because if you don't, that's going to be the excuse why the Kirby got the dirt out. And before people will spend the money and buy the Kirby, you have to remove all doubts, right? So the first question was what? When you bought your machine, you bought it for one of two reasons. Either at the time you bought it, you believed this was the best vacuum out there, or at the time it was the best one you could afford. Isn't that right? They're going to say yes, because those are the two reasons why we buy everything we own. Either it's the best or it's the best we could afford. Now, John and Mary, when you got this machine, how much dirt did you want it to get out? 30%, 50%, 80%, or all the dirt? 99 out of 100 customers are going to say all the dirt, to which I say, in other words, as much as possible, right? And if you found, for whatever reason, your machine wasn't doing the job you bought it for, you would definitely want to do something about that, wouldn't you? And they will say yes. Now, I didn't say you'd buy a new machine, you'd trade yours in. It's a very easy commitment. If you found for whatever reason your machine wasn't doing the job you bought it for, which they just told me they bought it to get all the dirt out or as much as possible, right? If you found it wasn't doing the job you bought it for, you definitely want to do something about that, wouldn't you? What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a spot on your rug where I haven't had a chance to vacuum with the Kirby yet. I don't get much exercise in the course of a day. Smelly form of daily exercise. I'm going to do the Jim Kirby aerobic workout right here in your home for you, right? Sound familiar? That's because it's the same every time, right? And when your presentation starts being the same every time, guess what? It makes sure that it's a presentation that works, right? And it works when it results in a sale. But now I'm going to go over a spot 100 times. And look, I could read your minds. I know you were like, man, this is taking forever when I got to 30. Oh my gosh, I hope he stops at 50. And when I kept going, you went, oh no, he's going to go to 100. Yes, it takes 90 seconds to vacuum 100 times in one spot. It will seem to your customer like you vacuum that spot forever. That's what I want. So 100 times, ham it up, have a little fun. Most important thing is to count out loud every stroke. And after you get to 100, right, we have a little fun, crack our back, but then we say what? All kidding aside, John and Mary, I just went over this one spot on your rug 100 times with your Dyson. If it did not get all the dirt out of your rug by now, it's pretty safe to say it's never going to, is it? In other words, 100 more times over the same spot with the same machine isn't going to make any difference, is it? And with that, you've got the commitment that whatever you pick up now, their machine will never get out. So let's bring the Kirby over to the same spot. Let's line this baby up. And again, everything matters, right? So you notice when I was vacuuming with their machine, hammed it up a little, made it heavy, hard to push, wrapped the cord around my neck. But when I vacuum with the Kirby, what's the body language? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. And again, just like last week, take the whole meter off. Folks, after 100 times of that one spot with your machine, let them know all the fuzz is going to be gone. That surface dirt, we call it eyesore dirt. The only thing that's going to be on here after 100 times is the heavy sand and grit down at the bottom of the carpet. Folks, and again, same thing as last week, make the face, oh my Lord, folks, and now let's sell the Kirby. As we agreed a minute ago, John and Mary, you told me that if you found for some reason your machine wasn't doing the job you bought it for, you definitely want to do something about it, didn't you? I am not a magician. There are no magic wands I can wave that instantly make Kirby's affordable for people. But I think I know now that if the Kirby was affordable, this is the type of system you'd rather be using to clean your home, isn't it? And fist bump. And this is the type of system you'd rather be using, John, to protect your investment, right or wrong. Fist bump. And then it's, well, folks, are you ready to get one yet? Or should I show you a little more? And look, and then you continue on with the presentation. But at that point, you've got the commitment that if they can afford it, they will buy it. Yes? Look at learning to get good at Kirby on purpose. But I want you to understand something from last week. You got to stay excited. You got to keep that smile on your face. You got to have that energy when you're in that house. And look at, I don't know, but I think if you win yourself one of these coffee cups, They're certainly bigger than most cups, and you fill this thing up, not with the decaf, but with the real McCoy, and you guzzle a couple of these in the morning, you'll be pretty wired by the time you got to your first show, and you'll be super excited and ready to go in there and have a lot of fun with that customer. So before I leave the home today, I just want to go ahead and disinfect one more time. And I do want to show you a couple things here. One, make sure you take the cap off of the spray gun before you go ahead and disinfect. And then again, it's a quick little mist, and here we go.
Thanks, John, for that tip.
Say something like, did you notice I took the nozzle off this time? Right.
EPA approved, safe for any surface, soft surfaces, hard surfaces. The beautiful part is it's safe around kids, pets, food, etc. Make sure you're doing that disinfectant service. It's going to create a lot of demos for us and get us in a lot more homes. And with that, thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back over to Randy and Dan.
Hey, thank you, John. That was another great clinic. Great information that's going to help all the dealers out in the field right now finish up a strong February and get ready for a strong push month. Did you notice, though, Dan, when John was doing that, he reminded everybody to take that shampoo cap off?
I noticed he removed the nozzle this time, and it seemed like it sprayed much easier, and the spread was better.
To do the proper disinfectant, make sure that nozzle's off the gun, and that's just going to give you a better spray and a better disinfectant sanitizing the customer's home. Hey, we're just right now almost, 21 days away from the push month in March. This being February 9th, we're looking to have a great March, but this is the time to start. And the best way to do it is with your getting Kirby Light. Just do yourself a favor. Get the stickers, put them on your boxes, put them on your proof books, can them out to customers, maybe stick it on the refrigerator. Make sure you have an ample supply of business cards and recruiting cards. Pitch Kirby Life to everybody so your push month is going to be really strong, and you'll have a lot of dealers coming in, winning free Kirby's and winning Kirby mugs, because these can become collector's items. Don't just collect one, get several. So when friends and family come over, they can all enjoy a big cup of high test out of your Kirby mug.
You can never have too many Kirby Life coffee mugs.
Never.
Just one of the things you can't have a shortage of. It's just not possible. So the more friends you bring in, the better the advantage when you open your office. And we're going into a push month. So if you want to help your distributor have, like you said, a positive push month, you'd want as many friends and family recruited in the business so you can collect a bunch of free Kirby's, because I think the push month's only a couple weeks away, right? We have Sell a Kirby Day on March 13th coming up. I sure would like to have 4 or 5 of my buddies out there selling Kirby's on Sell a Kirby Day. We could probably win a few free Kirby's on that one day alone if we brought in the people, right? So bring in your Kirby Life recruit. Let your divisional supervisor know. He'll report that to Randy McQuarrie here at World Headquarters, and we'll ship you a Kirby Life coffee mug. So until next time, this is Morning Caffeine with John Pedano. Let's have a good week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
We are positive.